Hey everybody, it's Denise Steinert. This is a tutorial for the women's scrub hat that we are making for Verde Valley Medical Center. The doctors and the nurses have been told that they can now wear fabric hats instead of throwaway disposable ones. And they are thinking that there might be a shortage, and a shortage is very likely. And so we are doing a service project to try to make these hats so that the doctors and the nurses are protected at our hospital. So I've already did a tutorial. Oh, let me grab it. For this one. So if you haven't seen it and you want to help with this one, this is a men's hat. And the difference between the men's and the women is this one has enough bulk that their hair can go up in it. I tried to put my hair up in this one. Let's just say it didn't work. So this tutorial and this tutorial are very, very similar. There's just a couple things that are different between the two hats, but both super easy. And I really appreciate you being willing to take your time and your talents to help me with this service project. So this hat has two pieces. It has this front part, which we are calling the brim, and ties, because it's all one piece, and it makes the ties that they tie with. And that's one piece. And then the other piece is this top part, which we're calling the crown. It's the crown of the hat. So if you are helping me with these, then I have already given you, or you can come by and get fabric and the piece of elastic that you need and the pattern. If not, and you need the pattern, feel free to email me and I will get it to you. I'm trying to get it scanned in and ready. But so for this hat, you need 27 inches of fabric that is 42 inches wide. So just typical 42-inch wide fabric, and you need 27 inches. That is actually to make two hats. And I'm doing this because if you only make one hat, you have a lot of waste. And in doing it this way, you get two hats for almost the same amount of fabric. So it's just easier to do two as to do, one and not waste as much fabric. So you have two pattern pieces, the crown and the brim and ties. Okay. So my fabric is folded in half. Okay. 42 this way, 27 this way, the length, 42 across. So I'm going to take and I'm going to place the brim and the ties on the fold. Okay. I'm going to pin that. And actually, if I were to do it, I'd pull it down as far as I could. Line it up, pin it, cut around it. Because we're doing two hats, I've got to have two of these. So then I'm going to take it after that one was cut. Then I would move it right up here. And I would do the same thing and cut another one. Then this piece, I would leave right here. And remember, because we have it folded, we have two layers. So if I cut it just like this, I'm going to end up with two of these. And that's what I would need for two caps. I would need two crowns and two brim and tie pieces. So the other thing on this crown pattern is after you cut out this piece, you need to mark on your fabric this little dot right here and this little dot right here. Those two dots are going to be where we need to start and end our gathering to gather the round of this hat onto our brim piece. So I'll explain that in a minute, but you just need to make sure on your fabric you mark those two dots. Okay? So I'm going to move the hat out of the way. And we're going to look at our pieces. So this is our crown one. Okay? But we're not going to start with that, so I'm going to scoot it over. And this is our brim one, hold on, opened up. So this is our piece. And actually, I've already started ironing it. So the first thing that you're going to do with this brim piece is you are going to turn this bottom edge in, fold it over about 1/4 of an inch, okay, and iron it down. And you're going to do that all the way across the bottom. All the way, all the way, all the way. And you're folding it to the wrong side, okay? Then you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to fold from right here at the curve to the end, and right here at this curve to the end. See, I've already done it. I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. You're going to fold it down 1/4 of an inch and iron it. Okay? So once you get the bottom ironed, which is here, and the top around the curve ironed, which is here, then you're going to iron the sides in. Okay? Get all of that ironed. Make sure it looks nice and pretty. And do that all the way down and on the other side. So I still need to do that side over there. But once I do that, then I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to match these sides. And I'm going to iron it. See, I ironed it super good. It's staying down really tight for me. And I'm going to keep ironing it past this curve. And right here, you're going to have a little bit of disconnect. That's okay. And I'm going to pull this up. Sorry, guys. It's a little bit hard to do it one-handed. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to iron it all the way across. Okay? After I get it all ironed, I'm going to take and I'm going to run a stitch right here. All the way down it in order to hold that. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done. I'm going to move that one, and I'm going to show you on this one. This is the back. See? This one I did a zigzag stitch. On the first hat, I did a straight stitch. It does not matter. It is totally up to you, what you like, what you want to work with. Sometimes I like a zigzag stitch because if I mess up a little bit and I'm not quite as straight as I need to be, it doesn't show as bad, but it really doesn't matter. This is what we're sewing. That's what this line is right here, is it's your front of your hat. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the front of it. This is the back. Okay, and so that is all right now that I need to do with this piece, except I need to fold this piece in half. And with a pin, I need to mark my center. You're going to need to do that. So once you get that done, then I want you to set this piece aside. And then we're going to pull out the crown piece. Right now, this is the right side. I'm putting the right side facing down. And I'm going to fold the bottom up 1/2 inch. Just so you can see, I can use my gauge right here. You don't have to, but about 1/2 inch. After I fold it up once and iron it, I'm going to fold it up again and iron it. What I am doing is creating a casing for my elastic to go through. So I'm going to fold it up like that, and then I am going to stitch right along this edge right here in order to create a casing. Okay, once I have my casing done, I need a piece of 3-inch elastic. This is 3/8 inch. You can also use a 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch is a little bit too big. So 3 inches, and you're going to thread it through. See, pretend that I have my casing already sewn. Look. And I'm going to thread it through. When I get it started threaded and I get it this far, I want to go ahead and stitch my elastic right here. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, where it's good and strong. And then finish threading it through. And then when I come out this other edge, I want to stitch my elastic there. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And take the safety pin out. Don't leave the safety pin in. So when you get done, this is what that is going to look like. See, it's stitched and it's threaded through my casing and it's stitched on the other side. So let me show you this is the back side, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so you're going to do that, and you're going to put a casing and put the elastic through. 3 inches of elastic. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is, remember, we marked our dots when we cut out our pattern. Now, what you are going to do is, following the edge of this, you are going to do a gathering stitch from here all the way around to the other dot. Okay? And you're going to gather that up. The other thing that you need to do is you need to fold this in half. And you need to take a pin and mark your center on this. So, just so you have it. Look, I'm one-handed. I can do this. Okay, so my center's marked. So then I'm going to run a gathering stitch from one side all the way around to the other side. Okay, I've already ran it on this one. And I've already pulled up, working from this side up to the center, and then this side up to the center. I have gathered and pulled my gathering stitch and gathered it up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and get this piece. Ta-da! And I am going to, let me see if I can set this down. I am not good one-handed, so let's see if I can make it work. Haha. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, so I'm going to take, look, remember is that good? Okay, remember I marked my center on this? I'm going to take my center on this, and I'm going to take my center on this. Right sides to right sides. And I am going to pin this all the way on. You might have to pull up your gathering. You might have to let it out depending on how big. But what you want is you want your gathering all the way to the end, past, you gathered to here, and then there was that straight piece all the way to the end. You want that to fit this piece all the way to the end. All the way to here. So, let me grab some pins. And I'll show you. So I'm just going to pin it. Make sure my gathering are even. And I'm just going to continue to work around, pinning every little bit. And once I get it all pinned on both sides, I'm going to do from half down one side and then go half down the other and get it all pinned. I'll finish up this side just where you see. See, I have that coming off. And I have that all pinned all the way around. Okay. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to stitch this down. Okay. After I stitch it down and it's secure, then you can pull out your gathering stitches where they don't show. And after you do that all the way around, I'm going to flip this one inside out where you see. This is what I just did. This is what we just put in. We put in this stitch right here. See, it's gathered on one side and flat on the other. This is your brim. This is your crown. And I put it in, and it made our hat. To finish this off, you've got one of two options. You can zigzag right along this edge just to make it where it doesn't fray. The other option is if you have a serger, you can serge it. If you don't, and you're doing them for me, when you bring them back, I will check. And if you don't have a serger, don't take the time to zigzag it. I'll just run them through my serger and finish off the edge. I just haven't done that yet. And I'll finish off all of the edges. So, that's what you're going to do. And then you flip it out. And you have a finished hat. So, again, thank you so very much for being willing to do this. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you need anything. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you later. Bye.